Olori Miriam has made it a public speech openly to everybody, every person that cares to hear. And when she made a speech, Olori Ronke also said she has had it in mind for a very, very long time to say something like that, and she thanked God that Olori Miriam have finally said her mind. According to Olori Miriam, the Ooni does not want them in the palace. He's just keeping up with them simply because he feels if he sends them packing, it will raise eyebrow from people. So that is why he is just keeping them around, because according to wetin we take here, the Ooni said he would leave it to slide in the old year because they have stepped into a new year. But Olori Mariam feels the Ooni would definitely use that voice note against her in one way or the other, because that voice note that she was threatening to deal with Olori Naomi mercilessly. If that voice note happens to leak out, if that voice note happens to reach higher authorities, they will persecute her for it. Yes. So she feels the Ooni might in one way or the other use it against her. So she is now telling the general public and every single person who cares to hear that the Ooni does not care about them. The Ooni has no single concern about them. What they are doing in the palace, they are living in the palace as king's wives who attend occasions, return, every single thing. That's what they are there to do. So, and technically the Ooni is trying to tell them that it is not in their room to complain, because once you complain like this, he will now tell you that he's disappointed, oh, you are getting out of hand, oh, you are doing things he did not expect, and the next thing is to be like you would leave the palace. So they are using the leave the palace option to literally threaten them right into their faces. Yes. And according to wetin she come follow talk be say she has decided at her own will that any single time they threaten her with you will leave the palace, she will quietly pack her things and leave. Her life is better off outside the palace than inside the palace if the Ooni doesn't know. And aside from that, she said she's not threatening the Ooni. She's only saying what has always been on her mind for a very, very long time to say. Because if you want to judge the facts right, if you want to look into every single thing right, you will come to understand that the Ooni of Ife is one person who have tried so hard not to have a bad record because of his wives. Yes, he's one person who has tried every single thing possible not to have a bad record because of these women. But because of what? You cannot control your wives. You cannot tell them stop. You cannot tell them this is what you have to do. You cannot tell them this is how you have to live your life. So what? They are living their lives exactly the way they want. They are him too, he is saying that he cannot stop them from living their lives the way they want. But Olori Miriam is saying plain in plain terms that let a spade be called a spade. The Ooni does not care about them. But in the last time the Ooni had an opportunity to talk about this matter like this, he said he cares about his wives, but perhaps he might not express it exactly the way his wives are expecting him to express it, because he's one person who genuinely cares about his wife. That is what, no matter what happens in the palace, at most times he will tell them that they should learn to keep palace issues inside the palace. They should learn to keep whatsoever is happening inside the palace strictly inside the palace. They should not let it outside the walls of the palace. It should not go outside the palace, because once this whole matter begins to go outside the palace, people will know what is happening deep inside the palace, and it will be too much of an information to leak out. Yes, it will be too much of an information to give out to the general public. So that is what he was trying to tell them. Keep whatsoever is in the palace strictly inside the palace. Do not try to let it out. That's what he was trying to tell them. But these women, they have their own view over all of these things. When Olori Ronke went to tell the DJ of Akure that the Ooni does not care about them, he prioritizes only Olori Naomi. He does not send if they exist in the palace. Whatsoever happens to them, he does not care about it. The Ooni of Ife was surprised. Yes, he was surprised that, wow, Olori Ronke said this. I care for this woman. I do every single thing for her. Like every single thing I do for her. So why is it that she will be saying all of these things? So he was trying to literally say that what they are saying the opposite of what is happening. But right now, Miriam has come out to say that they should learn to call a spade a spade. The Ooni does not care about them. They are just living in the palace as that his wives that attend occasions, they come back. When they call wives, they show up. They are not receiving the care, affection, attention from him. My people, this is a new year. And Olori Miriam coming out to say this. He said, for the first time in a long while, she has chose to reason things out. She doesn't want to shout. She doesn't want to quarrel. She doesn't want to break any single thing. She doesn't want to vandalize any single thing at all. She only wants to talk and reason and trash things out if the Ooni will give her a listening ear. And right now we are waiting for the Ooni's response, because she said she wants to talk about it if the Ooni will give her that privilege for them to discuss this thing once and for all, because she knows that all of them, his wives, are suffering, having emotional damage. They have feelings. It is blood that runs through their veins. They need that care, they need that affection, they need that attention that he is not giving them. So how are they going to survive it? How are they going to live above all of these things if he is not being there for them? That is what Miriam has to say. And in the midst of Miriam saying it, Olori Ronke came out to say yes, she has been wanting to say it. She doesn't just know the perfect way to say it. She didn't know the better way to say it, because obviously from the look of things, they have entered a new year and they want to live right. They want to live exactly the way the Ooni wants. So the Ooni should trash out this issue of them being neglected as they begin a new year like this, so that they can all understand exactly what is happening. Hey, my people, these women said they want to begin a new year right. They want to live right. They want to, do every single thing the way things are meant to be done. They don't want to, do things that the Ooni will say, I am highly disappointed. I am shocked. I wasn't expecting this. Why did you do this? They don't want to do any of such things. They want to do exactly what the Ooni wants, what he likes, and what he would embrace. That is what they want to do. But they have asked him a very crucial and an important question, that he should tell them why they are being neglected in the palace, why their feelings, their emotions, they are not taken into consideration, because he does things without thinking about them. He does every single thing without, like, they don't exist. He does it like they are less important in the palace. When Miriam came out to say that then the Ooni have belittled her and given her out to the public, she meant it. She said, yeah, she meant it, but perhaps she didn't say it the right way, because people said she threatened the Ooni. She came out for the Ooni. So she's now saying that she's sorry, but as they are beginning a new year, the Ooni should trash out this very matter has been a thing of concern to them. Why are their feelings neglected? Why is what they want to do, like what their emotions, their importance in the palace, their value, why is it being neglected? The Ooni should tell them. So many people with a way to hear from the Ooni. Yes, we are waiting to hear from the Ooni. If he would come out to tell them exactly what the answer to the question they are asking, then we would know.